my name is Jennifer Morales and my strategy presentation is on Move It. What is Move It? Move It enables the teacher and students to respond with physical movements by moving their bodies to a lesson. So movement applies to all, but especially kinesthetic learners and those who have yet not had the English proficiency to express themselves clearly. In this strategy, the teacher can use movements such as hands and facial expressions or their whole bodies to illustrate key points in the lesson. The children then repeat the actions to make meaning of the new words or concept. It's also known as the TPR. Well, how do we use it? Well, first we select the vocabulary that we're going to teach. We gather any equipment, props, or pictures that you're going to need to illustrate the word so that the English learners have a visual connection. Second, the teacher models. You say the new vocabulary word for the students, and as you do this, you use gestures, facial expressions, props, or movements to illustrate the meaning of the word. Third, the student models. So have a student volunteer mimic the same gestures, facial expressions, use props or body movements as modeled as you say the word. And then 4, student participation. Have all students mimic the same gestures, facial expressions, use of props or body movements modeled by the teacher and student volunteers. Ask them to say the word as they're making the movement. Vary this activity by then doing the action while the student says the word. Writing. Write the word or phrase where all the students can use it so that students can make the connection between oral and written words. And then 6, repetition and practice. Teach the next word or phrase using the same method. Review and practice words with students multiple times to ensure learning. This is often done especially in front of the students when you have a small group. Making it a habit makes it easier for the student to know what's expected of them and what they're going to be seeing. And how is this effective for English learners? It elicits whole body responses when new words or phrases are introduced. The teachers can develop a quick script that provides the English learners and other students with the vocabulary and/or classroom behaviors related to everyday situations. For example, take out your math book, put it on your desk, put it on your head, put it under the chair, and hold it in your left hand. These are all movements that can be modeled by the teacher. Students become ready to talk sooner when they're learning by doing. Such as TPR activities help students adjust to school, understand the behaviors required, and instructions they will hear. This will help them in mainstream classrooms, in the hallways, during lunchtime, during fire drills, on field trips, and in everyday life activities. Having these visuals and body movements helps English learners to know what is expected of them even if they don't understand the words. They can visually see what is expected of them. And how to use Move It in a pandemic setting, such as we are today. Mouth, point, and ear can be used in a pandemic setting, especially if you want to model a sentence for our students. We point under our mouth as if to say, this is my microphone, and I'm going to expect you to repeat the sentence. Then we can cup our ear, essentially saying, okay, students, it's your turn to try it now. Because then it models to the student that we, by cupping our ear, are listening to what they're going to say. Vocabulary. When introducing a new vocabulary word, think of the way you're going to engage your students' kinesthetic and visual side. It's even better if you can get the syllables to match the number of movements you make. Such as when you're going to pronounce a word, you're going to tap on your mouth for every syllable that is said so that the student can see how many syllables is being shown. And move closer. The close-up, of course. Getting up close is not engaging, It also helps our students to see our mouth movements better for correct pronunciation, especially in English learners. They like to look at your mouth as well as any pictures to engage more what they're learning and what is being said. Sometimes by mouthing what you're mouthing, it helps them better understand and even decode the word you're going to say. What does it look like in the classroom? So teacher Sean Michael Rowland, he's practicing the Move It strategies that I've mentioned before. Now, some modifications that you're going to use: the description of use within a dual language setting. 1, in whole group, the teacher identifies 2 or 3 students as the fish, and the other students stand or sit in a circle around the fish, acting as the fishbowl. The teacher moves the fish through the activity, supporting both the expected behaviors and language. Sentence prompts are provided and modeled. This is an activity you can do with your entire group. And this then helps the group see, okay, this is what we're doing as a group, and this is what is expected of me if I am the fish. For ELL learners, provide more visuals when teaching new vocabulary so they have a visual to connect to the word. From there, you can use movements or gestures to associate the word. Allow the ELL students to practice as much as possible. And these are some of the resources that I use for when creating my presentation. Thank you very much.